Hey everyone, it's Dr. Alexis, and today I wanted to talk about estrogen dominance and hormone imbalance. So what are some symptoms of estrogen dominance? You may get mood swings, irritability or anxiety, depression, bloating, or breast tenderness and swelling, or even acne around your cycle. And so what we see hormonally is that either estrogen can be really high on labs, or progesterone could be low and not high enough to counteract estrogen. Or for some women, both estrogen and progesterone are normal, but there are other driving factors that are causing their estrogen dominant symptoms. So what are some drivers of estrogen dominance? One could be inflammation. Inflammation increases an enzyme called aromatase. And what aromatase does is converts hormones like testosterone into estrogen, further driving up estrogen production. Another reason for estrogen dominance could be improper metabolism or excretion of estrogen out of the body. When it comes to estrogen metabolism and excretion, our body goes through 3 phases to break down estrogen: phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Now in phase 1, we use 3 pathways to metabolize estrogen. And I'll talk about these 3 pathways as if they were highways. The first pathway is called 2-hydroxy-E1. Now, let's consider that highway 1. Highway 1 is always clear and smooth. There's never any traffic jams or potholes. You will get to your destination on time without any issue, all right? The next pathway, also known as 4-hydroxy-E1, is highway 2. Highway 2, you can expect to always be in a traffic jam. You may get a flat tire from there being nails on the road or potholes. You will always be late if you use that road. And then highway 3, also known as 16-hydroxy-E1, is hit or miss. You never know what you're going to get with that highway. If there are perfect circumstances, you will get to your destination free and clear. If not, if the weather's bad, then you may have an issue. So highway 1, highway 2, highway 3, 2-hydroxy-E1, 4-hydroxy-E1, and 16-hydroxy-E1. When our body uses highway 1, estrogens are processed safely. They don't cause any havoc in the body, and they don't bind or rarely bind to estrogen receptors, meaning they don't stimulate more estrogen activity. And then the end products of that highway are safe and stable. When we choose highway 2, something called quinones are created that can cause DNA damage, causing more estrogen activity in the body and stimulating more activity down this pathway. When this pathway is used in a higher percentage, then it can increase your risk for cancer. When it comes to using highway 3, as long as the percentage that it is used is within a normal range, then it can actually be beneficial to the body, supporting your heart and your bones. When it's used in a higher range, it can actually be considered proliferative, so it can also increase risk for cancer. So what supports the use of highway 1 or 2-hydroxy-E1? Resveratrol, antioxidants, green tea, diindyl methane, also known as DIM, NAC, also known as N-acetylcysteine, indole-3-carbinol, and glutathione, which is our master antioxidant in the body. So what are some things that suppress the use of pathway 1 or 2-hydroxy-E1, or things that promote the use of the other pathways? Things like low iron, obesity, smoking, stress, adrenal dysfunction, and most importantly, xenoestrogens or endocrine disruptors. Some of these endocrine disruptors include DDT, PCBs and BPA, and polybrominated diphenyl ethers, which are found all in our environment, in plastics, and on the products that we use on our body. These pathways can actually alter hormone signaling in the body, increasing estrogen activity and promoting more use of those more dangerous pathways. Now that we talked about phase 1 of estrogen metabolism, let's talk about phase 2. And in phase 2, the metabolites that were made from highway 1 and highway 2 go through a process called methylation. Now in methylation, a methyl group gets attached to the estrogen molecule, and this lets the body know that it's ready to go into the next phase. So what happens in the next step is that the metabolites or the end products that were made from highway 1 get turned into something called 2-methoxy. And 2-methoxy is considered a powerful antioxidant and is known to be anti-proliferative. It keeps estrogen levels down, it doesn't stimulate more activity, and it inhibits the aromatase enzyme, which I mentioned earlier, that converts testosterone into estrogen. That's why we want more use of that highway 1 or that 2-hydroxy-E1 pathway. Now, without going into more technical details, in order to have a smooth methylation process, it's important to have things like methylated B vitamins, like methylcobalamin or B12, or methylfolate, B9, magnesium, trimethylglycine, and something called SAMe. And this is especially important for those that have SNPs, or single nucleotide polymorphisms, with MTHFR or COMT. The last step of estrogen metabolism and clearance is called phase 3. And during phase 3, estrogen goes through a process called conjugation, where it gets ready to be excreted through the stool. So if you have any constipation issues or any digestive symptoms, then this can cause more estrogen dominance because it's not allowing the estrogens to be excreted, therefore recirculating back in the body. So as you can see, there's a lot that goes into assessing estrogen dominance, looking at those pathways and also assessing estrogen clearance. One of the best ways to assess estrogen dominance is to use the Dutch test. I'll put a link in the description below if you're interested in looking at it. If you have any questions about estrogen dominance, drop them in the comments below. Hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.